tri-county area, Palm Beach, Dade, and Broward counties for the last 25 years. The practice of medicine is changing dramatically. All County Healthcare, Inc. still does it the old-fashioned way, where our nurses and healthcare professionals come into your home to service your medical needs, providing you the fastest and best care possible. For more information, call 954-717-7027. And remember, Medicare Home Care is covered by Part A of Medicare with no out-of-pocket cost to you. It's your decision, and only your decision, on what healthcare agency you use. Call today. All County Home Health Care, Inc. at 954-717-7027. License 200999096. The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors. Amp2.tv presents You and Your Doctor, teaching you to live a longer and healthier life. Proudly sponsored by All County Healthcare, where people are the heart of our business. All County Healthcare is a Medicare certified agency where one call will service all your home care health needs. For more information, call 954-717-7027 or visit our website, allcountyhealthcare.com. Now, let's get informed to living a longer and healthier life. Here is your host for today's show.
Hello, South Florida and beyond, and welcome to the You and Your Doctor Living a Longer and Healthier Life show. We're going to be talking about robotic hip and knee replacement surgery this evening with orthopedic surgeon Dr. David Padden. Dr. Padden, welcome to the program. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great, Dave.
Thank you, and thanks for joining us. I always say on this adventure of health because we always learn so much. And I know I've had you on, about 6 months ago, and we talked a lot about, but I changed a little of the format today because I want to really, make the point to the listeners and viewers exactly what robotic surgery is. And because there's a little bit of a stigma out there like, oh, is the doctor doing the surgery or the robot? But this is robotic-assisted surgery. Dr. Padden is in total control of the Mako robot. So I just wanted to get that out there. So, Dr. Padden, like I said, welcome back. So tell us a little bit about robotic-assisted, minimally invasive. Let's start with hip surgery because that's a little bit more I know of than the knee.
Actually, truthfully, they're both similar. So let's break it down exactly like you said. There's a lot of stigma associated with robots and what they do for us in surgery, particularly. And there's also part of the reason behind that is there's been a very wide use of robotics in other specialties, such as urology and in GYN, where they use another kind of robot called a Da Vinci robot. So for those out there listening, I am not talking about a Da Vinci robot. That's a whole different kind of robot of which I am not an expert in, nor do I know exactly how that robot works and performs. What I can tell you is our robot is basically, I could describe it as this. What I'm able to do is I'm able to plan carpentry out in 3 dimensions, position and place implants, meaning something on your hip bone, whether that be on the femur bone or in the pelvic socket, or whether it be in your knee, on your femur, at the end, distal femur, or on the top of your tibia, which is what a knee replacement is. We also resurface the patella. But I'm able to actually position these components virtually on a computer before we ever start the procedure. That's based on a CAT scan that we obtain. That's a specialized CAT scan. It's not one that requires all the radiation of a standard CAT scan that's done, let's say, if you had a problem with your abdomen or your pelvis or things like that. And off of that CT, we're able to create a 3-dimensional representation of your exact bone, its positions, dimensions, etc. We're then again able to position these things virtually. In a hip, that's all we do. And then in surgery, the robot helps me perform the carpentry aspect. In the knee, we're actually able to adjust in surgery the components to maximize your knee's range of motion and stability, right? Because we have to achieve two things. Your knee's got to be able to bend all the way forward and backwards, and it can't flop around, wiggle like a fish, right? It's got to
No.
be stable under your leg. So we're able to make small, little, fine adjustments virtually on the computer with the input we give it based on ligament tensions. And then, essentially, the robot then helps us do the same exact thing in a hip or a knee. If you could imagine, if you had a drill in your hand,
Mhm.
and I asked you to drill, let's say, into this piece of table right here. Okay? It's being right there.
Yep.
And I want you to drill at 40 degrees in the south direction and 10 degrees tilted east. And I want you to drill exactly 8.2 millimeters and stop.
I wouldn't be able to do that
Okay.
for sure. I'd be all
You
over the
wouldn't,
table.
I wouldn't, nobody can, okay? And that's really the way carpentry was done for us in surgery prior to all this. So we kind of judged where we cut your bone, either using our finger or maybe a ruler. We don't have any exact points where to start or stop. So those were all very precarious, right?
Mhm.
When we were putting your socket in your hip, we basically eyeballed. About 40 this way and 10 this way, and you hammer till you feel like you're at the stopping point and you're done. Now, with a robot, my carpentry equipment, so my saw or my drill, is attached to the robotic arm. While I'm drilling or sawing or putting the prosthesis in, I'm looking up at the screen, just like I'm looking at this screen right now over here, right?
Okay.
And instead of me looking down at what I'm drilling, I look at a screen. And the screen gives me every single piece of that information I just told you. It shows me exactly what angles I'm at. It shows me via color representation how much bone I'm removing. So initially the bone screen that I need to cut or remove. As I start cutting or drilling it, it goes to white. If I go a little teeny bit too much, it'll warn me. If I try to go even a little more, it'll give me a little feedback and start pushing back. If I said, the heck with this, I'm just going to keep going, it actually will shut off within 1.2 millimeter. Or if I try to move my hand way out of the angle that I wanted to do, it'll lock up and won't let me do it.
That's amazing.
So it's really, really helping us perform carpentry to a degree of accuracy and precision that was not even close to available before this. You know, this is your body. This is a joint. This thing's got to last. It's going to take a lot of high demand. It's got to be perfect, or at least as close to perfect as we can humanly get it at this point. And so really, there's no really, really good way of doing this without that. You know, I trained in my fellowship at Johns Hopkins with the guy, Dave Hungerford, who developed all the jigs and devices that allowed us to do a total knee replacement that's done today manually, meaning manually means people without a robot. There are a lot, and I studied and trained with the man. I know the limitations of those devices as well. They are also not perfect. They're as good as we had at the time. But we have lots better ways now. And I would submit to you, there's very few things in the world that we do exactly as they were designed in 1970 or
Of course.
1960 something. So I think that's a really exciting thing to be able to use robots. I think, you know, I use them now on every total knee replacement I do. I use them on every total hip and have not done them without a robot on a total hip since 2011. And I do a fair number of partial knees with the robot as well. So there's really nothing that I utilize or perform that can't be done with a robot. Big, small, you know, skinny, little, Chinese, Asian, Puerto Rican. Robots don't care. There's no prejudice. We don't care. We can perform it. The harder the case or the more difficult the deformities, etc., the better the robot is at telling us where we need to be, especially when the visual landmarks are so distorted. That's where these things really excel.
That's a great explanation, Dr. Patton. Again, Dr. David Patton, orthopedic surgeon, a robotic hip and knee replacement surgery specialist. I'm going to jump to a question I had way back. But so I had heard you talk about this in the past. So you do it's a muscle sparing technique where actually, is it you spread the muscle and fibers away to get to that hip joint? Let's stay on the hip first.
So actually in the hip, we don't have to spread any fiber. So I do almost all my patients laying on their back, supine, just like they would normally be. I make an incision on the side of the hip, and then I slide right anterior in front of the hip muscles, and I'm able to do the whole hip replacement without actually cutting or having to cut in between a muscle or cutting a muscle off the bone and reattaching it. That's a big plus for patients because the recuperation's a lot quicker. There's a lot less precautions. The precautions used to be a real killer for a lot of patients in the past. They couldn't bend over, they couldn't cross their legs, they had to sleep on their back for 3 months after surgery. A lot of people, that's not the way they want to.
Yeah, quality of life. They had to change their life around.
Right, and so, we can get these people back more quickly. There's less things that need to heal. The knee replacement also, on most knees, other than the real significant deformity where we need a little more exposure, I'm able to then also go, like, as we said, in between a muscle and as well not have to go up into the quadriceps tendon, less overall pain, less overall difficulty recuperating.
Less hospital stay.
Hospital stays really nowadays really very minimal. Most people either will go home the day of surgery for a knee or for a hip or a knee the day after surgery.
That amazes me to this day.
Yeah.
Because I have family members, it seems like not too many years ago, who had these types of replacements, and it was a lot longer, but it wasn't robotics either. So
it wasn't that long ago. You're right. Only upwards of 7 years ago, people were routinely staying at least 3 to 5 days.
Yeah.
And 20 years ago, it was upwards of 7 to 12 days in a hospital. What a nightmare that would be.
Yeah, that's unthinkable nowadays. So again, here with Dr. David Patton, has an office with Tenet Florida Physician Services in Boca Raton, 9970 Central Park Boulevard North, Suite 400A, right on the campus of West Boca Medical Center, where you do this robotic surgery with it's called the Mako robot for short. But you do it right there at the hospital, and your office is right there on the campus.
Yes, and I also have an additional office down in Fort Lauderdale, just west of 95. You can't get any more close to it.
Yeah,
it's
right here.
in the Strayer University building, and it's a beautiful office over there, and I share that with a couple of other really great surgeons, Dr. George Caldwell, Dr. Mohideen, and Dr. Kenya.
Nice. Yeah, that's 2307 West Broward Boulevard, Suite 200, Fort Lauderdale. Numbers 561-430-4610 for both offices. And the website is drdavidpadden.com. It's drdavidpadden, PADDEN.com. Let's take a quick break. On the other side, I have a unique story that I'd like to share about the umpire that you helped get back behind the plate on the You and Your Doctor show.
All County Healthcare has exciting news for any and all patients with COPD or other respiratory ailments. Listen to what renowned pulmonologist Dr. Keith Robinson has to say.
Hello, I'm Dr. Keith Robinson, board-certified pulmonologist, medical director at Fusion Health Pulmonary Rehabilitation, and a board member with the American Lung Association of South Florida. We have exciting news for patients with COPD. We now offer IPV therapy at home, which has been demonstrated to improve airway clearance, decrease hospitalization, and improve quality of life of patients with COPD. Please call All County Healthcare for more information about this FDA-approved therapy.
For further information, call All County Healthcare now at 954-717-7027. That is 954-717-7027. Or visit our website at allcountyhealthcare.com. You can also find us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Remember, All County Healthcare always puts the patient's needs first. 888-565-1470, and we will put you on the air to inform all our listeners. Now, back to our show.
We're back on the You and Your Doctor show, living a longer and healthier life. So again, here with Dr. David Patton, orthopedic surgeon, expert, but robotic hip and knee replacement surgery specialist. Before I get to the story about the umpire, I wanted to ask you, who's a candidate for this type of care? Age, male, female, of course, probably both. But is this more for, what I'm getting to is more for our arthritic ailments?
Well, for anything that needs a joint replacement.
Okay.
So that would be certainly arthritides, certainly people who have had post-traumatic arthritis, whether that be through car accidents, other injuries, septic arthritis from infections when they were young, or other aspects. Of course, people can develop all kinds of bone diseases and inflammatory arthritides as well that will affect their joints and might require them to be having joints at an earlier age. And that's sort of what you're alluding to is, back in the day, we wouldn't be having this conversation other than with 70 and 80-year-olds. And today, the potential discussion of joint replacement can come for patients as young as 20s and 30s, given the appropriate scenario, etc. You know what I'm saying? So I may not make you live longer, or I might not certainly change your habits and make you live healthier, but I can certainly probably make you move a lot quicker and be a lot happier with your quality of life and pain control.
There you go, quality of life, which will actually help people live longer, because if they're happier, they're probably going to live, a bit longer as well. I hope so. We hear that a lot on the show with the doctors. So, getting to the story. So this was a retired firefighter who, very active gentleman, played tennis virtually every day. And he became a Major League Baseball spring training umpire. I know he did a lot of high school playoffs and even FAU college. So he did a lot of umpiring. He told me he had a bone-on-bone grind before, and he talked to, well, actually you talked to him first because he was your patient. But when I interviewed him, what I'm getting to, he said he had a bone-on-bone grind, and it was very painful. So he had the robotic hip surgery with you. He told me he was out. He had it down to the minute. He only spent 23 hours in the hospital, same day. Right. He left the same day, and he liked you so much in the work you did. He had his other hip done with you, which was an ailment as well. So, and then he was telling me he was back on the court tennis. He said you said he could go back in 2 months, and that day he played tennis. Yeah, that story just amazed me front to back, and he sent me a picture of him umpiring again.
Well, you want to hear the cooler thing about all that?
I was all over the place with that one. Sorry.
The reason I met him was because he was referred to me from a guy who came down from Orlando to have me do his hip years ago when I was at Holy Cross, and then I did that gentleman's hip, and then when I left Holy Cross and I had to do my 2 years of penance away, I was up for a year with a buddy of mine in Orlando, and the gentleman whose hip I did from Orlando moved down here to Jupiter, and he met this patient, the firefighter, and told him, you got to go up and have this guy, whatever, do your hip. So he went up to Orlando, and I did his first hip robotically up there. And then when I came back and moved here and came back and started practicing back again in my good old West Boca and with Tennant, David came and had his hip done, the second hip over here with us, and had a great, of course, experience. And now I just literally saw him Thursday.
Oh, great.
He's doing amazing, and, he's doing the umpiring and all that, and loving life and
Tennis, he plays a lot of tennis.
Tennis, yeah, 3
Just
days a
strenuous,
week,
yeah.
and just the guy's back to being himself and having a great life again. And he's worked hard and deserves it, right? He was a firefighter, slaved away for all of us to keep us safe and keep our homes.
Yeah, I think he's a firefighter in Fort Lauderdale, and yeah, if you're interested in that story, it's on Dr. Patton's website, drdavidpatton.com. It's a great story, in my
It could be
opinion.
your story too.
Yeah, it could be. And then after I read that story, I watched a Major League Baseball umpire, because I've watched baseball my whole life, but I watched it for a whole game. That is very strenuous activity, and for him to go right back to it with no issues is just amazing to me.
Yeah, I mean, actually, you're right. They do a fair amount of not full squats, but definitely some squatting down. We were actually talking a little bit about it the other day. His level of squatting is different based on players' heights. He's a really tall player. He has to stand up higher to get the strike zone more in his eye view. But, how it works, Dave. You played ball just like me. The umpire doesn't stand there. I mean, he's running when the when the batter hits the ball too, to some degree.
Definitely.
Following in case, right? Because there are things that happen. Other umpires get pulled away sometimes. They're all backing and moving. It's not a stand in one position game. So yeah, it's fantastic. I love it.
You need that kind of mobilization to be that kind of umpire. And same with tennis. I mean, watch a game of tennis, or a match, I should say.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just the way you're going to kind of slide into some shots in some
Well, and
ways.
also there's a lot of rotation, and that's really where the hip, like a bad hip, you can, depending if you're a lefty or righty golfer, you can, lay off. If it's your left hip and you're a righty, it might not hurt you for a while. But if you're a righty and it's your right hip, that's the rotation, just like baseball, that'll kill you, or golf or tennis where you have to rotate a lot. When your bones don't rotate anymore, pretty much puts you dead in the water. So that's where that really can open up a whole new world for you. And of course, tennis also, I mean, I'm not telling you that after we do your hip or your knee, we want you to be playing hardcore advanced singles ever again. But certainly you can see, what was the British fellow?
Andy Murray.
Andy Murray he's playing doubles now. Played in Wimbledon, right? And all that.
I saw he's playing in
he
a
had his
tournament in the
hip done.
U.S. Yeah.
So it's possible. Again, they're not really designed to take the strain of heavy duty, a.k.a. Bo Jackson, who had his hip done 4 times, because, pro baseball is a little bit of a hardcore on your body, even though most people would think the baseball players might be the least physical of all the athletes. It's plenty of physicality involved.
Sliding.
Or,
there's a lot of going
running, swinging a baseball,
the turn,
and all that, run in the outfield, etc. You can't be a hacker athlete to play at those levels.
Well, when you're watching a Major League Baseball game and it's a great hit, they always talk about that hip turn that Patter made,
Yeah.
He look at how he rotated his hips there,
And it takes, they're doing it in split seconds, right? It takes 1/10 of a second before you have to make your decision.
Yeah, much faster than we thought.
Like when you're going to swing, and to be able to generate that kind of power and momentum is incredible, right?
We got about 2 minutes. One more question. So is that typical for the robotic hip replacement? 2 months of recovery and then back to quality life, or was that a little fast?
Well, no. I'd say it's about the first 4 to 6 weeks are where you're really, putting up the healing and the implants growing into the bone and your thighs getting.
And then.
But after that, sorry about that. After that, the sky's the limit. So within the 6 weeks to 12 weeks, everybody's different. Some people are flying around playing golf and tennis within the 4 to 6. Others, it may take good 12 weeks or so. So I'd say 3 months.
Same with the knee?
The knee's about the same.
Really? I thought the knee would have been longer.
You're up and walking right away, day one. We get you up that day, whether you have a hip or a knee. And hopefully you walk out the hospital the next day, and then the first week, 2 weeks is a little bit rougher, and within a month to 6 weeks, you're bending and moving great.
Hard to believe we just got less than a minute left. I want to give out your info again. I tried to nail it, but if you have any questions, call Dr. Patton's office. You got any questions about insurance, etc.? Is it covered? Any questions for Dr. Patton? Again, it's 561-430-4610. It's drdavidpadden.com, David, Padden.com, Boca Raton office, Fort Lauderdale office. Dr. Pat, won't have to have you on again. I love having you on and talking about, robotic hip and knee.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
Thank you. We'll see you next time on the You and Your Doctor show.
Thank you for letting us share with you a longer and healthier lifestyle. If you have a doctor or are a doctor and wish to be on the show, call AMP2 TV at 866-244-5422, and we will put you on the air as soon as possible. Tune in next week for more information on living longer and having a healthier life. Of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Are you ready to go beyond? Welcome to my show, Go Beyond. I'm your host, Jordana Foster. Each week, I will be showing you how to go beyond your limiting beliefs to take you and your business to the next level. If you're ready to redefine, recommit, reset, and re-engage yourself, this is the time. This is the place. Go Beyond. Good evening and welcome to Go Beyond. I'm your host, Jordana Foster. As a motivational speaker, trainer, and mindset coach with the John Maxwell team, I help individuals, entrepreneurs, businesses, and organizations to get out of their own way, to get unstuck, and to really help them discover what's holding them back from achieving the goals that they have in their life and business. How does that sound? So from masterminds and corporate training programs to mindset shift workshops and retreats and personal and group coaching, I help people go beyond what's holding them back, their limiting beliefs. And I ask them the questions that they might not be asking of themselves so that they can be more and do more and have more in their life so that they can give more, right? So if any of that resonates with you and you're not feeling fulfilled in your life or business, or you're ready to up-level your performance and to be who you're supposed to be, contact me for a consultation, or you can get on one of my calls or my virtual trainings. I would love to have a conversation with you and take you from where you are right now to where you want to be. Contact me at readysetgobeyond@gmail.com. Like and message me on my Facebook page at Ready, Set, Go Beyond, or you can contact me on my website at johnmaxwellgroup.com/Jordana Foster. Isn't it time for you to go beyond? So I'm really thrilled. There's so much going on, and I wanted to use the first half of my show to kind of get you at a point where you need to assess things. There are 5 months left of the year, and it's also back to school time. And, we're so busy juggling all of our responsibilities, right? I mean, if you have a family and you have a business and a career and your social life and staying physically active and your mental health and your friendships and all of the different pieces that make up our lives, and we're juggling all of them, and it's a lot, and time is going really fast. And I want to kind of give a shout out to some people that I can totally identify with, and you can call in. I'm going to give you the number, 888-565-1470, if you have any comments or questions that I can help you with, because I've been helping so many of my clients in so many different areas of their lives and businesses. The transformations are thrilling, and I'll talk about as many as I can on this half of the show, and then I'll share them in future shows. But the empty nesters out there, or the people primarily is who I'm going to talk to in this little section right now. How many of you are just sent your kids off to college? You have a child that went from middle school and jumped up to high school. The changes in your life, the family dynamic, especially if you have a child or children that went off to school. I actually had my oldest son who went back to school. Can't believe it's his senior year already. He went back to school last week, and I miss him already, but I'm really excited for what he's going to be experiencing and discovering about himself and the growth that he's had and what's going to happen this year, right? But I miss him, clearly. And my youngest son, who's about to leave tomorrow. And so many of you are not only my clients, but you've written and asked for my feedback. And I'm actually in the process of writing a book on this as well. I have 2 in the process, and I'm torn because so many people are anxious to get all this information. And the thing is, there are a lot of emotions that are taking place, okay? And you need to be really honest with the emotions. They're raw and they're real. And you need to think about that you did a great job with your kids, okay? You need to know and pat yourself on the back and say, hey, I did a really great job, and now it's their time. Now they need to thrive, right? And you're setting them out on that course. I'm not saying you're not going to worry and there won't be restless, sleepless nights. There are for me as well. But I'm saying that for the most part, you need to feel really good about what you've done, the role that you and, if you have a partner, your spouse, has had, your family that has played in your child's life growing up for the last 2 decades, right? And then you've prepared them, hopefully, for what their next journey will be. And it is not easy. It's been very emotional for me, and now it's been a year for me, and now I'm going into the second, being an empty nester. And I will tell you the transformation that has taken place within me, that I decided, and this is how I help a lot of my clients, whatever their journey might be. They might not even have kids, but I'm specifically talking to people who might be in a transition period. So it could be that you recently got divorced. It could be that you're in a career that isn't fulfilling. It could be that your children are now in college and you're trying to figure out what your next move is. Who are you? And so these questions are so important that I do a deep dive with my clients, and I encourage you, put a comment below. I'd be happy to reach out to you and do a consultation, because it's really important to take a moment to just breathe and feel very grateful for what you've accomplished and the life that you've had and the people who are in it, and whether it's your children or the career that you've made, or that you're getting back into your career because the children now are off, or you want to start your own business or a nonprofit. Whatever it is that is tugging at you, I'm not on just a fact-finding mission. I'm on a purpose-finding mission and a passion-finding mission with my clients. I really ask questions, like I said, that aren't so easy to answer. It's those difficult questions, aren't they, that really kind of hit you to the core and make you kind of rethink things. Or, a friend of mine just posted on the page tonight that she's an empty nester, and it's very sad, and she's a very nurturing person, and it's all about her nurturing for her bulldog, and that's a beautiful thing. But maybe, and I'll suggest this to her, maybe she volunteers at the local animal shelter. Maybe she finds out, I know that, she has so many other talents that have been put on the back burner for so long. And so I encourage all of you to have a conversation with me so that we can explore what it is that you want to do, and who you want to be, and how you want to contribute, and just what you want to feel, because we're only here once, as far as I know it, as far as we know it. Sometimes there's more. But I just want you to really take inventory of your life, of where you're at, and have someone like me, a coach and a mentor, ask you the right questions to help guide you. I will not give you the answers. I don't do that with my clients, but I kind of help steer you and navigate you. And there's nothing better. I have a mentor. The most successful people have mentors. It's not just about figuring it out on your own, but it's about having guidance, somebody who's a listening board and a sounding board for you, somebody who's going to believe in you and lift you up and to be honest with you, challenge you. You know, I hold my clients' feet to the fire. I hold my own feet to the fire, and so do my mentors, to be able to have the kind of year that I had this past year, which is unrecognizable. And I'll go into more detail, but I've had more speaking engagements, more coaching clients, more growth. I have my own show, and that's not to toot my own horn, but I'm here to not to impress you, but to impress upon you that there's more to you. And I'd like to help you find that in your business. I think that so many of us are just on the level and we're really not thriving to our full potential. And you don't want to leave anything on the table, do you? You don't want to have more left over. You want to squeeze all of that wonderfulness out of you and be who you're supposed to be and enjoy the relationships and the people that you're meeting, the experiences that you're having now. Don't just keep delaying everything. I don't understand that. So I'll just go back. So for the people who are experiencing, from an empty nesting standpoint, it's a sense of loss of your purpose, and I'm writing about this and I'm also sharing this with my clients who are experiencing this because your role as you know it has changed. I worked my corporate job, but then I also went part-time to raise my kids. So I still had my job. I was still, doing my thing and I had my clients, but my priority was my family, still is, but things have shifted because they don't need me in the same capacity. So now I'm doing me, and I want you to do you. It's really important. I show people how to invest in themselves and not feel guilty. What do you think about that? You don't want to feel guilty, self-care, you, me, it's not selfish. And so many of my clients, particularly my women clients, female clients, feel guilty about the time or the investment or how much money they're spending or what they're doing or going to a yoga class or going to a retreat or going to hear a speaker. That's an investment in you. And I always say this, you can't pour from an empty cup. So you have to have some left over. And why not be the best version of you so that you can be all that you can be for your family and your partner and your children and your community and everything that you want to be? You need to be filled up. And the only way to do that is to grow you and to do you and to learn. And that's what I'm all about when it comes to my coaching, speaking, and training. I am helping people from a corporate environment. I'm doing corporate trainings, and the response is tremendous, and so are the results. The transformations I've done, retreats with people who are entrepreneurs, and it's a real balance, which we'll talk about in the second part of the show, because I have a wonderful guest here from the Holistic Chamber, and I'm actually going to be on a panel tomorrow night talking about, is there such thing as a work-life balance? I'm not going to give it away. So anyway, so with the idea of the empty nesters or the fact that you might be wanting to take a different path or things have changed, in your life and you don't know what to do, right? Well, you need to understand that there's a shift. That means that there's an opening, an opportunity for new things, new experiences, new connections with people, new opportunities, but you have to be open to them. And you have to be very decisive. You have to be intentional. And I'm so much about that. So if you are just going along and not really recognizing that I just dropped my kids off and I'm coming home to an empty house and you're crying and you're emotional and you're allowed to have those feelings, but then you need to brush yourself off and say, Now, what am I going to do for me? What is it that I've been meaning to do? What is it that I wanted to accomplish? Who can I help? How can I grow me? And I would love to have that conversation. I'm building a community of other like-minded people who want to have those conversations and want to take themselves and their businesses to the next level. And I help people rediscover themselves. I help them reconnect with themselves and reconnect with those around them, those closest to them, okay? It's about relationships. It's about the relationship that starts with you, right? With you. How about that? We forget about the relationship that we have with ourselves. We only focus on others. I help redirect that to look inside and look at the relationship that you have with yourself. And I'm going to ask you those questions and have you do some homework to help take you on a path of self-discovery so that you can be the you that you're proud of, that you're supposed to be, that you can thrive in all areas and aspects of your life, whether it's spiritually, emotionally, physically, financially, all of those. How does that sound? I'm helping you to go beyond. And I really think that these conversations are so important. And can you tell that I'm passionate about this? I am on a mission to help more people to become who they're supposed to be, to rediscover their greatness and unlock their full potential to thrive personally and professionally, and to help them reinvent themselves at whatever stage that they're at. And if any of that resonates with you, even the tiniest little bit, I would love to help you go beyond and take you from where you are right now to who you're supposed to be, to where you want to be in your life and business. You can contact me again at readysetgobeyond@gmail.com. You can like and message me on my Facebook at readysetgobeyond, or the johnmaxwellgroup.com/Jordana Foster, or just comment below. I would love to get some hearts and love and find out what you're really passionate about, what your purpose is. And I'm excited to have Anya Weinberg from the Holistic Chamber on right after these commercial sponsors from my amazing sponsors. Thank you so much, Jordana Foster with Ready, Set, Go Beyond. Talk to you in a few minutes.
Cirque Hotel is one of the newest and most exciting boutique hotels in downtown Hollywood, Florida. Cirque Hotel at Hollywood's Young Circle is the ideal getaway to this relaxed, vibrant, and beautiful beachfront community conveniently tucked between Miami and Fort Lauderdale, just minutes from Hollywood Beach and Hollywood Broadwalk. This stunning 111-room modern boutique hotel, operated by Trust Hospitality, was designed with a contemporary flair and inspired by the area's blossoming art scene. The long-awaited 12-story Cirque Hotel features Olivia, an authentic Italian restaurant by well-known South Florida restaurateur Piero Filpi and Marcello Sindani. Olivia is elegant and incorporates the highest quality ingredients, yet maintains an atmosphere that's fun and hip, a perfect reflection of Cirque Hotel. Olivia includes the cellar with more than 900 bottles of wine, a fresh mozzarella bar, warm, friendly seating, and mouth-watering menu. Cirque offers a high-energy bar and lounge area and private dining and event spaces. The Muse, a chic and sexy rooftop bar and lounge on the 11th floor pool deck, offers specialty craft portions and elixirs, an Italian-influenced menu, and live music from local artists. Presto Market and Coffee House features handcrafted coffee drinks and fresh grab-and-go wraps, sandwiches, and salads. There's a state-of-the-art fitness center and 3,000 square feet of flexible meeting space on the 11th floor. Each of Cirque Hotel's well-appointed rooms and suites include a seating area, wet bar, 55-inch television, and luxury bath with rain shower and upscale amenities. Many feature balconies offering picturesque South Florida views. Cirque Hotel is the ultimate haven for business professionals, vacationers, and social groups who enjoy a cultural atmosphere and are looking to indulge, relax, and unwind. The uniquely branded Cirque Hotel sets a new standard for dining and entertainment in the heart of downtown Hollywood. Come, indulge, relax, and experience the Cirque Hotel.
Purity, renewal, beauty. Just like the lotus flower. That's Attitude. Attitude is a luxurious anti-aging skincare line with a concentrated focus on cutting-edge formulas that blend the best of science and nature for the best results. Attitude's holistic approach to skincare provides essential hydration and restoration while treating the fragile eye area. Attitude is clinically proven and delivers incredible results. Whether you're looking to instantly brighten your eye with light diffusing minerals, nourish the delicate skin to maintain beautiful, youthful looking eyes, or just say no to crow's feet, keep your eye on Attitude.
Cruise Planners has an exceptional reputation for premium quality, service, and competitive pricing for all your travel needs. With over 30 years of travel industry experience, Michelle Allen's knowledge and expertise will help you discover many exciting adventures all over the world. From captivating cruises and land tours to completely arranged vacation packages. Michelle specializes in travel experiences and will create an unforgettable vacation designed just for you. From coordinating multi-generational cruises, milestone celebrations, romantic getaways, empty nesters escapes, and affordable singles travel, let Michelle Allen make your next trip the most memorable and unforgettable experience. Contact Michelle at mallen@cruiseplanners.com or visit www.michellescruises.com or call Michelle at 561-470-5134 to book your next adventure.
You've been listening to Go Beyond. If you want to be part of the show as a guest, highlighting your business, or you would like more information about the content of the show, email me at readysetgobeyond@gmail.com or share your thoughts and call me at 888-565-1470. Welcome back to Go Beyond. I'm your host, Jordana Foster. I want to thank my amazing sponsors, the Cirque Hotel, a stunning boutique hotel located in the heart of downtown Hollywood. You need to check out their rooftop bar. And I also want to thank Attitude, which is a luxurious skincare line designed exclusively for your eyes only. And I also want to thank my wonderful sponsor, Michelle Allen with Cruise Planners. She is an amazing travel concierge, and she turns all of your travel wishes into amazing travel experiences and opportunities. So thank you to all my wonderful sponsors. So I am so excited to welcome my wonderful guest here tonight, Anya Weinberg, and she is a wellnesspreneur. I love that. And wellness director for A Place for Healing, which you're going to hear more about. She's also the senior vice president of the Holistic Chamber of Commerce in Fort Lauderdale, which I'm a member of. So Anya, thank you so much for being here on Go Beyond.
Thank you for having me.
It's
this
an
is
absolute
awesome.
pleasure.
What a great experience.
Oh, I'm so glad to have you here. So we're going to be talking about a few things. So first of all, let's talk about what's on tap for tomorrow.
Sure.
And then I also want to talk about your amazing experience as a wellness expert, because I really think a lot of people need to know about that, and also A Place for Healing. It's a wonderful spot that you and your husband run.
Oh, thank you so much, Jordana.
Sure.
Well, what we got is I am the VP of the Holistic Chamber of Commerce in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. It's a wonderful organization that's all about creating a healthier planet while helping people to be healthier and more integrated, living really inspired, healthy lives, not only for ourselves, but also for our families. And tomorrow evening, we have a wonderful event coming up. I have a flyer here, and Jordana also posted the link. So if you're interested in joining us, we will be meeting at the Zen Mind Space in Fort Lauderdale. It's kind of on the east side of Fort Lauderdale, close to Fort Lauderdale High School. And the topic is all about how do we thrive at work and life. And for many of us, Jordana, I'm sure you know this from your clients, is we really tend to struggle. And I think for me, it's always been like balance looks different for everybody. And balance should really be something very individual to you, because what balance looks like to you, it's going to be different than me or Jordana.
Absolutely.
From the whole aspect of just being a whole inspired human being and just living a great life, really.
And not getting frustrated. It's going to be an amazing
Yes.
discussion with Dr. Barrett. You want to talk about who's going to be there? Because
Sure,
I
awesome.
love the topic.
Yes. So it's all about creating your ideal balance
Right.
in work, family, entrepreneurship, and health. So we want to support healthpreneurs. The Holistic Chamber of Commerce is all health practitioners that really want to have more out of their own life as well. So we have entrepreneurs like Jordana from Go Beyond, speaking there on the panel. Then we have Trish Carr from Women's Prosperity Network.
She's wonderful.
An amazing organization that was founded by three sisters that is now has chapters all over the United States
Yes.
and the UK and Jamaica. And then, of course, we have Dr. Barry Weinberg.
He's awesome.
He's awesome. I'm kind of...
You are partial.
I'm a little partial, yes. Together, we have owned a place for healing for over 25 years. He's a true expert in his field. And he has also recently become a self-discovery life mastery coach, in addition to being a chiropractor and an author and a musician. And he truly has his own male perspective of having a balanced life on his terms. So I think you're in for an amazing treat.
And you're a moderator. You're going to be the moderator
I will
there.
be the
so it's going to
moderating,
be
yes.
an amazing conversation and discussion. We really encourage you to go to the Holistic Chamber. I have the link on my Ready, Set, Go Beyond page. It's right where this is. You can register for tomorrow night. It's at 6:30 p.m. at a beautiful studio, the Zen Mind Space. It's very soothing, and it's lovely space, and it's perfect for what we're trying to accomplish and help guide people. It's funny, we, like you were saying, we all are juggling so many things, like I said earlier, and I mean, I have 3 businesses myself, plus I run my husband's. And and one of my businesses is a health and wellness, in addition to being, a coach and motivational speaker. So I really believe in the whole mind, body, soul connection. And that's so much of what a lot of the people who are with the Holistic Chamber are all about. It's not just you have to be teaching yoga or have this. I mean, we have everybody from so many different backgrounds but they have a different approach, right?
Yes, and everybody does have a different approach. And what I love about this particular panel is this is not people just telling you, do what I say.
No.
These are all people doing it and creating a balanced life on their terms. And I think that's really, for me particular, that's a key, helping families be healthy on their terms. Having people be healthy on their terms, that really makes it uniquely them. And I know all the experts are truly experts who have paved the way and been there and done it, and talking from true experiences, not from a textbook.
That's wonderful. And I just want to say I'm honored to be a part of that group, because I love being a part of the Holistic Chamber community, and to be able to give some tips and strategies that have worked for me. And also, Trish and your husband, Dr. Barry. So it's going to be great. And to have your perspective as a moderator, and you're doing it as well. So
yes,
I commend
absolutely.
you. Tell us a little bit about also your approach, because you also help people from a wellness standpoint. And I wanted to touch upon that as well, because we're all in the same space. And I really love that.
Well, at a place for healing, it was always our goal to really have people look at what health and wellness could be for them. And sometimes people just really don't know what is possible. So looking at the health and wellness is not just a body thing. It's the mind connection. How do we live effectively every day? And all the things that we bring to our clients over the last 25 years have always been cutting edge things that we have tried out for ourselves. We practice network spinal analysis in the office. It's a very evolutionary way of having the nervous system upgrade. We just added a self-discovery coaching because we saw that our clients really needed an additional step. We do wellness home consulting, where we really look at the wellness of the home, and everything together makes the perfect package.
That's fantastic. I just got the cue that we only have a few minutes left. This has gone so fast. Can you tell that we're passionate about what we do?
We love what we do.
If you love the conversation that we're having, you need to sign up for the Holistic Chamber of Commerce, Fort Lauderdale. Look for the link on this page. It's tomorrow night at Zen Mind Space at 6:30.
Yep.
And you're going to have amazing discussions. You're going to hear the panel. You're going to make great connections from a networking standpoint. And Anya Weinberg, I want to thank you so much for being here on Go Beyond and sharing a little bit about not only the Holistic Chamber, but what you and your husband, Dr. Barry Weinberg, are also doing at A Place for Healing, and how we're all really connected to be making a difference, not just within our own lives, but within the community and everyone around us. So I want to thank you so much. I'm a quote girl, so success in life is becoming what you want to be. Think about that. Success is defined in so many ways. Again, I want to thank Anya Weinberg. I am Jordana Foster with Ready, Set, Go Beyond. Definitely try to join us at the Holistic Chamber of Commerce tomorrow night in Fort Lauderdale at Zen Mindspace at 6:30. And catch us here next Tuesday night at 6:30 p.m. where I'm going to have Michelle Allen from Cruise Planners talking about empty nester travel. How's that for a segue?
That sounds delicious.
Have a wonderful evening, and thank you so much. Ready, Set, Go Beyond, Jordana Foster. Good night now. Thanks, Anya. Thank you for watching Go Beyond. Tune in next week as we continue to explore effective ways to help you go beyond your limiting beliefs to unlock your true potential to thrive personally and professionally. Learn how to take you and your business to the next level. Contact me at readysetgobeyond@gmail.com. Like and share my video, because sharing is caring. Contact me at 305-753-6758 or go to my website at readysetgobeyond.com.